Hello everyone, it's me, Kimiko Tarot, and welcome to my channel. In today's reading, we're just going to find out a little bit about what you need to hear and, what do you need to know, what Spirit wants to tell you. So we have 3 piles today. If you like to pick with crystals, I'll put crystals on in a second, but we're going to start with pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Give you a few seconds to decide, and then I'll add crystals. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add the crystals. Sorry if that was not enough time, but I have an Aries moon and I have ADHD. So we're going to do some ASMR because I am a multi-talented queen. So crystals. Oh. And I will show you each one of the crystals up close as well. So for pile 1, we have this crystal, which I genuinely have no idea what it is. Focus. It is, I think, a type of jasper. So for pile 1, I think a type of jasper. For pile 2, we have some lovely carnelian. Stunning. Pile 3, we have this lovely piece of amethyst. And there we go. I'll show you all of them up close. Maybe I should make them in the center. There you are. I will catch you in the reading. Hello, pile 1. If you chose this lovely jasper rock that I don't know exactly what it is, it was a free gift. That's also why. Thank you, Nature's Grow, for the free gift. If you chose this is a reading. Or if you also chose this, I believe this is called the Luna Soleil Tarot deck. I will put the name somewhere. So, let's go ahead. Find out what do you need to hear. What does pile 1 need to hear? What does pile 1 need to hear? What does pile 1 need to hear? Well, that's too many. They can't hear the whole deck, guys. Give me 4. I'll take 4. I'll take this one. No, I won't take this one. Okay, give me 3 more. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. And then give me, we're going to do also pull 2 oracles. So what else is pile 1 need to hear? Okay. And what else is pile 1 need to hear? Oh, that's like a lot. I don't know if I want to take all 3. Can I just take the top one? Okay, I'll just take the top one. I'm gonna take the top one. That feels good. Is my beautiful, beautiful pile 1 here. I'm gonna line these up. Give me 1 second. Hello, pile 1. Okay, so I tried to move things around and just kind of get it all in view. So I'm hoping we're all in view here. But let's go ahead and get into what you need to hear. The first thing I kind of want to say is, I'm sorry if you've been going through a really tough time. I'm sorry if things have been kind of hard for you. That's what Spirit's been saying to me right now, is that you've been kind of in a cycle that feels really, really tough, a cycle that feels really hard, a cycle that feels full of heartbreak and almost like loss. I feel like it's a cycle that just really kind of put you to an emotional end, like something, even if it's not like sadness, it's like you've never felt this stressed, or you've never felt this sad, or you've never felt like this, I guess, lost almost. Like this was kind of jumping into something that you just didn't really know much about, and you had to learn so much about it, and you had to build so much about it. But isn't it lovely to be able to build something and learn something from somewhere? I think like if you didn't know something and now you've learned so much, it's like instead of focusing so much on the negative, like God, I lost so much, it's like, well, look how much you gained, how much knowledge you gained, how much, just new knowledge you've gained, how much like experience you've gained. If this is like I feel like for a lot of you this is not an actual real pregnancy. If it is, I think now kind of maybe working and learning about what can help with that fertility if you are trying to get pregnant, like fertility treatments or, you know, certain types of foods that you should try to avoid, like those types of things. I think learning about those things and kind of building that foundation will help you succeed. And either if you are trying to get pregnant, get pregnant. If you're not trying to get pregnant, and this is more like trying to build something that you like, a project or like a business, then I think this is going to get a lot better because you've moved on and you've learned so much from the past and from all these like past mistakes, and now you're finally almost mastering what you need to do. So it's like if you just started a new business, it's like, well, before it's like you spent all this money and like, let's say, into prototypes and into like different types of like looks and different types of packaging, and then you didn't, and then you're like, okay, now let's launch, but then you were like, we can't launch because we don't have like all the licenses for all this stuff. And then that was like, well, we just spent all this money and we just put all this work into it, and now you're telling me we can't launch it yet. So now it's like you have to learn, you have to build a new foundation, you have to build that foundation and be able to be successful on it. You know, it's like you're learning slowly through this. You're learning how to build, you're learning what steps you need to take, and you're learning how to build that foundation. And even if, let's say, you didn't start with that steady foundation at first, like, it's okay, you've moved on from it, you've moved on from this heartbreak, and now you've gone from Eight of Cups, which is again heartbreak and sadness, and that, to Eight of Pentacles, which is learning, mastery, and hard work. It's like you've learned from the sadness and learned from the hardships to apply that and how to move forward from it. You know, like, you're going to build a good foundation, you're building this foundation. It's like you've decided, okay, this foundation before was it was on sand, but now we're going to like put concrete down. It's going to be firm. We've learned that we need a concrete base. So you have your concrete base now. You're learning how to build that concrete base, and that's amazing. And that's what's going to help this tough cycle end. And that's going to help with this like fertility, this newfound fertility, whether that be in, again, a business, whether that be in a project, whether that actually be in actual fertility. I think what you've learned from the past hardships is what's growing, which is really great. You should always learn how to grow from what you've learned and the past mistakes you've made, because the thing is, you can't take back a past mistake. You know what I mean? Like, you've already done it. You can't do anything but learn from it. Like, that's why, like, you know, like, if you ever take a business course, they always say like, well, a sunk cost, you never even think about it because it's a sunk cost. It's already gone. It's already done. Like, this heartbreak has already happened. These hard emotions have already happened. So instead of dwelling on these hard emotions, just think like, well, what can I do to learn from it? What can I do to master those hard emotions? What can I do to like move on and build a stronger foundation for next time? With the back of the deck also being Six of Cups, which is like family and nostalgia, some of you may be trying to expand a family, or this may be with family, or someone who feels really close like family. Like, maybe you're working with family and it's really hard to work with family because working with family is difficult. And you've had to learn how to put some of those emotions aside that come from just your family emotions to like business emotions. It's like learning how to separate like work and family. That's like one of the lines that's really hard to like obviously learn, especially when you're doing something with your family, because you love them, but at the same time it's like you can't get mad at them at work because they left the cabinet door open and you're still mad about that. Do you know what I mean? You have to kind of learn how to separate those two things. But I mean, I definitely think you are. And I think the end of this tough cycle is coming. I think you're already kind of seeing part of the brightness and the happiness, because you're not always stuck in a cycle. Like, a cycle is a cycle. Like, you know what I mean? You can get out of it. It'll end soon. Like, even though you've had these hardship and even though you've had these hard emotions and even though you've had this sadness and you've had to move on from it, you're building and you're learning so much more now. You're taking those past mistakes and you're applying it to the future. You're taking those things that you've said or done in the past and you're applying it to the future. You're taking those things that people have said and done to you and saying, I don't want to do those things and I don't want to repeat those mistakes. And that's building a beautiful foundation for you. And that's also building a foundation of happiness, building a foundation of harmony, and building a foundation of goodness. The cycle that you're in right now is going to end. You're not stuck in some sad cycle forever. Like, there are always brighter days at the end. Do not worry. It'll always get better. I promise. But you are learning a lot from these past hardships, and I think that's really pretty, and I think that's really beautiful. Yeah. So I think Spirit just wants to say, like, keep your head up. You're learning a lot, and that's a part of life. You can't be successful without learning something. Like, you can't, like, it's the first try is never going to go well. Like, I filmed my first video like 6 times, and the first time the lighting was wrong. The second time you couldn't hear anything because I didn't like plug in my mic. The third time I went to upload it into my laptop and literally every file was corrupt, and I was like, oh, stunning, amazing, wanted it, loved it, needed it. But you know what I mean? It's like those were all things that I had to learn. I uploaded, like, even with this, right, another cut, whatever, going on with it. It's like I had so many different Like, I had so many things I had to learn, like, just even that were just so simple and so easy. And like, this isn't even saying, like, because my little issue is probably not nearly as big as yours, I'm gonna be honest, but it's just like an example. Like, I had filmed this video so many times, and then I decided to change the subject completely. I originally was gonna do like what your soulmate wants to hear, because I was like, you know what, I just really feel called to that, and it kept going wrong, and I was like, you know what, maybe people just need to know what they need to hear, like, you know what I mean? So I was just like, screw that video, started over, and then I went with this one, with what do you need to hear. And it's so far, it's turning out pretty well. There have only been one technical difficulty, and I'm fine with that, because that's what it is. But versus, you know, having all my files corrupt, and having, you know, the camera not work, or having the lighting be off, or having, like, you could only hear my air conditioning go for like 40 minutes, like, that's not fun. So, you know, you have to learn things. You have to learn from those past mistakes, and just not, and like, and the other thing is, I was like, maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe I'm just not meant to make videos. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has struggles. Everyone has difficulties, especially at the beginning of a project, beginning of something. Like, like, most people don't get pregnant the first time. Most people don't post their first post. Most people don't, you know, most people don't go with the first name of a business they go with. Most people don't, you know, get big off their first song. It's work. It's hard work. It's building, and it's building that foundation and learning from those hardships, those past mistakes, and that sadness that makes you grow. Even if this isn't even like a business, it is like a relationship. You have to learn from past relationship issues and past relationship problems to build a good foundation, build what you want, and work at it. Like, you can't just stop and not learn from anything, because then you're just going to repeat the same pattern over and over and over and over and over again. Because why would you're not learning, you're not changing. Like, if I continue to tell myself that 2 times 2 is 5, and I never learn that 2 times 2 is 4, I'm always going to put 2 times 2 is 5 until I finally just accept and learn from the past mistake that 2 times 2 is not 5. You know? You know what I mean? You gotta learn from your past mistakes in order to have everything, I think, just feel like right. And that's also the beauty of life. Like, imagine if you never made a mistake. 1, you would be insane. 2, I think you'd always be worried about your first mistake. Do you know what I mean? Because if you never made a mistake, you'd be like, well, tomorrow's the day that I'm going to make a mistake. Everyone's going to be like, well, mistake-free Michelle is no longer mistake-free Michelle. She's mistake-full Michelle. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't even know. Well, actually, no, I do know Michelle. Hi, Michelle. But, like, she doesn't make mistakes. She's flawless. But you know what I mean? Like, you have to learn from past mistakes to get where you are. And you have to learn from past mistakes to have everything that you want, too, you know? There's no point of dwelling on the past, and there's no point of dwelling on hurt emotions when you can learn from them, and when you can build from them. Because a sunk cost is a sunk cost. It's gone. Whatever. Accept it. Move on from it. Learn from it. I've done dumb things in the past. You should hear some of the dumb things I've done in the past. I could tell you some of the dumb things I've done in the past. We'll get into that someday. Maybe later. Not today. But you know what I mean? Just live life. Smile a bit. Take a little breathe in, breathe out. Relax a bit. Because you know what? The past is the past. The future's the future. And you have a great future coming out. You're learning a lot. You're building a lot. And you're going to have harmony and happiness in the end. And the end of your life cycle, my guy, it's coming to an end. So head up. Chin up. Chin up. Chin up. Look at the past for what it is. Learn from the past from what it is. And you know what? Start to build. Start to learn. Start to have more of that harmony and happiness come your way. Because the more you dwell on these sad emotions, the more you're going to feel them. The more you move past them and say, like, okay, well, that really sucked. But you know what doesn't suck? Tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to run. And if I don't run, who cares? I will walk down the street once. You know, little goals, little things. Movement. You're working slowly, you're working surely, and you're getting there. And that's what matters. Okay, well, I'm really bad at ending things, so pile 1, that's what Spirit wants to tell you. They just want to tell you that you're moving on from a lot of past hardships, and you're learning a lot from it, and you're building something so stable, and it's going to bring you so much happiness and harmony. And you just have to realize that not everything happens at once for a reason. Everything happens in the perfect time for a reason. So thank you, Pile 1. If you enjoyed this, please leave a comment below, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. Let me know what you want me to do next. And, you know, live fast. Eat ass. Except I don't think I can swear on YouTube, so that may not be in here. But anyways, thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I've been Kimiko. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Modern Witch Tarot deck or the Carnelian, then this reading is for you. So we're going to go ahead and find out what you need to hear, what Spirit wants to tell you. So let's start with a little shuffle. That was such a great Shufel. We're going to start with a better Shufel. Better. Sometimes. There we go. Okay, let's find out. Spirit, what does pile 2 get? Okay, take it. What does pile 2? Okay. We'll take these, and that is it. And I'm hoping I can fit all these in here, because I'm a mess. I want to do 2 oracles, so we'll do that too. So when we come back, it's all together. So what else does pile 2 need here? What else does pile 2 need to hear? Realization. Okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so I tried to get it in frame as best as possible, working a little bit smaller of an area, and I'm trying to kind of decide how I want to set this up. So we may be moving in the next video, but we shall see. This is going to sound really specific to some of you, but I don't know why this specifically right here just feels like some of you may have made a choice to leave like a very traditional job, or a choice to leave something that was like kind of more like, I guess, traditional, more like on that, or decided to do something a little less traditional, and now you're kind of, you've planted those seeds almost, and you're kind of trying to see it grow slowly, and you're a little bit nervous of how it's going, and it kind of feels like it's not going necessarily as well as you want, but it kind of feels like, well, even I'm growing and it's kind of working its way to what it is, and it hasn't really 100% come into like fruition, but like it's something that you love, and it's something that you know you want to do, and it's something that brings you a lot more excitement and like creativity than like something else did. Regardless, maybe this isn't a job. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. For me, this feels mostly like a job. It doesn't really feel like it doesn't really feel like something like if this doesn't have to do with work, then I would say probably this pile isn't the one that Spirit wants to talk to you about. I'm gonna be honest. Something about it just feels so heavy that you left like a job, or you left something like career-wise that is just so like more traditional, more like what people follow. And instead, you wanted to do something that you thought like you wanted to grow something yourself, and it was a little bit like, it was more like you were like led here by like not necessarily intuition, but like you want to grow this because it's like what you want to do. It's something that also you love and you have fun with, and it kind of feels like maybe right now that's not. It's successful probably, but not maybe as much as you want, or like it's not doing as well as you want, or you don't necessarily know exactly where it's going, but you know this offers you some type of like creativity, some type of thing that you do love more than what you were doing before. It could even just be doing this with someone you love, but there's something here that whatever you left, or whatever choice you made, or maybe there is a decision to make, something that you want to leave. Like you do want to leave a traditional role. You do want to leave even like what work you're doing to do something a little bit less traditional, something a little bit more that you have to grow, but something that offers you creativity. With Justice on the background, it also like just on the back of the deck, it feels, again, this overall energy is like what you put in is what you'll get. You know, especially with confidence is your key and realization, you have to realize that confidence is your key. What you put in is what you're going to get. If you put in as much work and as much love as you want, and you network and you get this out there and you tell everyone about it, and you really try to push it, I think that's what's going to help you grow it, and that's what's going to also help you lead to, like, it's not like these 10 swords in your back of this wasn't the wrong decision. It also help you lead to what decisions you need to make to get exactly where you want to go creatively, and where you want to go in this loving area of your life. Like, you have to kind of decide what exactly it is you want to do. And I think that's part of the realization. It's like, you know what it is and you're already working on it, but I think you need to like more balance exactly what it is, because what we put in is what you'll get out. So if you put your whole heart into it, yeah, I think you'll get a lot out of it. I think you'll get, even if it's like it's not the most successful thing in the world, you'll get a lot of love out of it. You'll get a lot of like people who love it. And maybe it's not like you're like, let's say you're a singer, right? Maybe you won't become like Beyonce, but like you will have like a good life from it, and you will have like a lot of love from it, and you will have like a good following from it. Because you may not be Beyonce selling out stadiums, do you know what I mean? But that again may not be your end goal, because not everyone wants to be a singer like Beyonce. It's like not everyone wants to be an actor like Leonardo DiCaprio. Some people just want to be like voice actors. They don't want people to know who they really are, but they are still actors, and they're still, you know, getting paid a lot of money. There are some voice actors that people genuinely just don't even know their faces, but they've been in like every animated film you could think of. Like, because they can do so many different types of voices too, right? Because they're multifaceted, they're multi-talented in that way. So it's kind of like that. It's like maybe that's not your end goal, but what your end goal is, you need to put that work into it, because confidence is your key. You need to tell people about it. You need to like think about it. You need to voice what it is for other people to come and see it too. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're decided to leave something and like a choice that's so traditional and something that you want to grow that maybe does feel a little bit more anxiety inducing, and you don't exactly know where it's going to go, but it's something that you know you love and something that you know that's going to give you that creative outlook that you need, then why are you holding back? Tell everyone about it. If it's something that you're so proud of and something that you like so much, then you scream it from the rooftop. Confidence is your key here. Like, you need to realize that it doesn't matter what other people say, because if they're saying something about you, it's because they wish they could be you. They wish they had the confidence to go forward and leave something that's traditional. They wish they had the confidence to go after something they love, or even to support someone they love in the same sense. Like, this is a decision and a choice. Like, with these two partners here, this could be like also a decision, one, to leave something traditional, or two, also to leave something traditional to help someone you love. Or maybe this has to do with your partnership. Maybe this is also like if this is to have to do with love, maybe it's the fact that you are choosing to be with your partner in a more traditional sense and growing something that is a little bit scary to you. Like, maybe going into an actual real relationship with someone is scary. Like, okay, love is scary. We all, don't worry, but so is life. You know what I mean? But my thing is, if you're gonna make a choice to leave something and do something, then just do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, have fun with it. Because you only live once, so try it for a year. Try it for 2 years. And if it doesn't work after a year or two, then you know what? Maybe it wasn't for you. Maybe you didn't like it as much as you thought you did. Like, I had a friend who really wanted to do something with their one of their hobbies, and they thought that's what they wanted to do with their life. And then they started going into it, and they were kind of upset that it never really was super, super successful. But the more and more they kind of started doing it, and the more work they put into it, they were like, I don't really like this as much as I did. Do you know what I mean? And it's okay to make a choice to see, like, I don't like something as much as I did, and now I'm going to change it to do something I like more. You can start with that same idea, right? Like, if you start with something like, my friend, she has a nail business. If you started with like a nail business and she realized like she likes doing nails, but like more probably teaching less than like actually doing the physical nails for people, then you're still in the area and you learned from it and you grew what you wanted to grow, and then you realize that wasn't for me, and now you found something else that's way more like creative for you, way more it it completes you a lot more. And that's like the beauty of life and learning, you know? If there's something that you want to leave, if there's a traditional job you want to leave, if there's a traditional career or something that people kind of see as more traditional that you want to like kind of leave and grow something on your own, but you're a little scared that it's not going to work out, it's going to be something you love, and it's going to be something that you want to work for. And the thing is, you'll never work a day in your life if it's something you love to do. And like, that is true. That is true. It's an actual fact. If you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work, because you're going in every day like having fun. And like, what you put into it is what you're going to get out. But that confidence comes from you. That confidence comes from you. You can't, I can't, like, if you're so happy about something and you are so proud of it, how am I supposed to find out about it if you never tell anyone? Be confident in your work. I mean, confident in that. And show people about it. And own it, bitch. Yeah, so that's what he wants to tell you. They want to tell you, like, honestly, if you're thinking about leaving something traditional, or if you've already left something that's a little bit more traditional, a little more status quo, and you're trying to grow something and it feels like maybe it's not working out as much, like, you have to put the confidence is key. You have to realize that that is your answer. You have to realize that what you put in is what you get out. And if you're growing something and you're realizing maybe it's not 100% what you want to do, then learn from that and change and pivot a bit. You know, you have the opportunity. Life is all about changing and all about learning and all about going with the flow. You don't wake up one morning knowing exactly what you want to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some people that, like, since 5, they want to know they were a doctor. But, like, you know what I mean? Most people aren't like that. Most people usually wake up in the morning, put their pants on, brush their teeth, and think about their day. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everyone wakes up and they're like, today I have exactly 10 things to do. I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to get it all done exactly on this thing. And you know what? It's going to give me exactly this type of ROI. You're crazy. You're crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, embrace that life kind of comes at you and you got to come right back at it. But just embrace the fact that if you're learning and you're learning what you love to do, scream it from the rooftop. Yell about it. Tell everyone about it. I want to hear about it. Leave a comment, tell me about it. Leave me a link. Give me a link. I want to link it. Link up, babes. You know? Life is a moving journey. And you're just moving with it, boo. So just keep on pushing. Because you're doing great. And it's going to work out. You have to be confident with what you want. Also, like, it is true, like, no one knows if confidence is real or not. So just do it. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm really not good with outros either. Pile 2, that's your reading. If you've left something kind of traditional and you're growing and you're working on something and it feels kind of anxiety-inducing and doesn't feel like maybe it's working out, it is something you love and you have to put in what you want out of it. And even if it is starting to work out, you want it bigger and bigger and bigger, you have to put that in to put it out, you know what I mean? And even if you open something, you leave something and you realize maybe this isn't exactly where you want to go, then it's fine, pivot. Realize what you want. And then once you realize what you want, the confidence is what's going to get you. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So do it, boo. TLDR. Love it. Loved it so much. Amazing. That's your reading. Woo, 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 woo. I'll see you in the next one. If you liked it, leave a comment, subscribe, like it, turn your notifications, all that stuff. And catch me in the next one and tell me what you want me to do next, because I love taking ideas. Anyways, thanks, guys. Catch you in the next one. Oh, the next video is going to be ASMR. Yeah, the next video is going to be purely ASMR. I'm just going to say, Pile 2, this is what Spirit wants you to hear. ASMR with Kimiko Tarot. Okay, bye. Catch you in the next one. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose this lovely piece of amethyst, I can go this lovely piece of amethyst, or the Cosmo deck, then this reading is for you. So we're going to find out a little bit about what Spirit wants to tell you and all that. I have to shuffle this deck this way because it like bends kind of strange. So it's just like easier. Okay. What does Pile 3 need to hear? Just Pile 3 need to hear. What does Pile 3 need to hear? What does Pile 3 need to hear? Two more. Does Pile 3? Well, that's too many. Give me, what does Pile 3 need to hear? Okay. Ace. And then this one came out. And then it was this one. And then key. Okay. And then let me grab some oracles as well. Give me 1 second. Okay. And what does Pile 3 need to hear? What does Pile 3 need to hear? And what does Pile 3 need to hear? Realization as well. Interesting. Have faith in your dreams, and what do you need to release? Oh. Boo. Why? This one kind of is a little bit like Pile 2, so if you've got drawn a Pile 2, maybe, but this one I think is a little bit more to the point. Which is, so I don't know if, like, this is actually, like, to me, it's quite to the point. It just feels like you don't really have very much faith in yourself, I feel like. Like, you're a lot, like, I think smarter than you think you are. You're a lot more powerful than you think you are. Like, I think you can manifest a lot more things than you realize you can. And I think sometimes things do feel like they're really just weighing down on you, and it's a lot. But you need to release that, especially for like the 10 of Swords to be in the middle of like such like Ace of Swords, Magician, 9 of Cups, and a Star. It just feels like all this I'm just so honed in onto this Ten of Swords. It just feels like you really, really sometimes focus on like the negative. I just realized you can't see the bottom one. Sometimes it feels like you really, really, really focus on the negative parts and never really just like on the good parts. Like, you know what I mean? It's like feels like if like you had it's like if your boss gave you 5 compliments that day and then said like, oh, you know, but like you could have like lined this up slightly better. You're gonna be focused on the lining up the whole day versus the, oh, your deck looked amazing. Oh, you know, your presentation day was I was so engaged. To you that's just like, I should be performing like that. But then when you hear a mistake, you're like, but I shouldn't be performing like that. So it's like there's a distance, there's like a divide between how you feel when it's like you're doing really well, and then when you're doing like okay or even bad. It's like when you're doing well, you just expect that from yourself, but when you're doing bad, you focus on that. What I think is like maybe that's why you don't release a lot of things and why you don't really have as much maybe as like maybe you don't have as much faith in your dreams as you should, because with the Ace of Swords, with the Magician, like something that you know that you want, you can have. Something that you've thought of for so long, you can have it. You can do it. You just need to stop focusing so much on the hurt that you felt or like any mistakes that you made. Like, oh well, I can't be, you know, like I can't open up my own marketing agency and like become like like an amazing marketer because like I've never really done anything in marketing, or I can't do that because, you know, I did have a job in marketing and I wasn't the best in my area. But maybe that's also because you had just started your job, like you had just started your career. So like obviously you're not going to be as good as a senior director. You're an analyst. You know what I mean? But to you, it's like, well, I should be able to perform that way if I want to do what I want to do, because at some point they were me and now they're a senior director, so they had to be just as good. No, they learned how to get there, and it took time. It took time. They had to learn that, and it took time. It took education. It took time to get there. You know, have faith in your dreams because it takes time, and like if it hasn't worked out the first time, like do know that it doesn't always happen the first time. Like with the star in the back of the deck too, it's like the energy here is hope. The energy is renewed hope. The energy is things coming into balance. The energy is happiness, and especially Nine of Cups, that's the happiest card of the deck. It's like that is a wish fulfillment. You need to realize that you will have faith in your dreams, and you will have your dreams if you just release the negative of the past and stop focusing on little mistakes that you make and focus on the fact that you are the magician. You know, you are powerful. You know, you do have all these abilities within you. Like you, like when people need something, they probably turn to you because you have good advice. They probably turn to you because you also have lived, and they probably also turn to you because they know that you're wise. They probably also turn to you because you also like think things through. Like you do have good ideas, and you do have like you are smart. So like, stop thinking you're dumb. And you are talented, so stop thinking you're untalented. Or even if like maybe someone has done some, if someone's doing well, it doesn't mean that you're doing poorly. It means that they're doing well as well. Like just because Dua Lipa is an amazing singer does not mean that Miley Cyrus isn't a great singer as well. Like they're both famous. Or just because like Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift doesn't mean like Dua Lipa could never become as famous as Taylor Swift, you know, and have as long of career that Taylor Swift has had, right? It's like when Taylor Swift was probably younger, she probably looked up to Beyonce and was like, oh, I'll never have a career as successful as Beyonce. I'll never have like a following like the Beehive. I'll never have like, you know, maybe I won't sell these stadium tours like she has. And because Beyonce is Beyonce, you know Beyonce, but you know Taylor Swift. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. It just means they are both successful in the same sense. That like just because other people are doing well doesn't mean you're doing poorly. Just because other people are succeeding doesn't mean that you can't succeed. Just because you made a mistake one day doesn't make you stupid. Like release the little negative things and realize that like you should have faith in your dreams because you can achieve them, because you are so much smarter than you are. Like than what you think you are. Like you truly are like this magician. You can have everything you want. You can do it because you have the power and you have the willpower to do it. You have the drive to do it if you put your mind to it. So get that drive, you know, get the keys, boom, put the car in drive and to the highway. You know what I mean? Get on it. Get on that freeway and get driving, you know, get going. Because you have the drive and you have the knowledge and you have the power and you have the ability. You just have to release any negative energy that you have within you. Like what's holding you back? Not what, and like I'm not talking like if something is holding you back that you want to do like financially, 100%. Girl, I get it. Hold up, wait. Think about it. But what's holding you back then mentally? Like what's holding you back from doing what you want mentally? Like even if let's say you don't have the money, like you want to be a singer and it takes money to get producers, it takes money to get all this equipment. That doesn't mean you can't go to the subway and start singing. Like, you know what I mean? And getting like a street license. or like even like, or just being a street performer and just getting it out there that way, because you should have faith in your dreams, because some people do still get discovered on the streets. Do you know what I mean? It's like things like that, that like, what's holding you back? Is it the fear? Is it the anxiety? Like, because I get it. I like, when I first wanted to do this, I was scared, because I was like, oh, what if people make fun of me, or what if I like suck, or what if like it just sucks and everyone's like, you suck. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, again, this is my first video, so who knows, it could suck, but like, at the same time, I'm still doing it and I'm still trying, and like, you should too, because what's someone gonna say? You suck? Okay, if I suck and you don't like it, don't look at it. You know, if someone doesn't like it, turn to them and say, don't look at it. I'm not, you know, personally, I don't look at things and I don't do things that I don't like doing. Like, I personally am not a runner. My knees can't handle it, because they're bad. But like, you know, I don't like running, but even if my knees could handle it, I'm just not a runner. I would rather swim. I'd rather be on a Stairmaster. I'd rather do an elliptical. Running ain't for me. I don't go to marathons. You know, I don't do marathons. Like, if someone doesn't like it, don't look at it. And if I'm at a marathon, I'm complaining the whole time about how I hate running, someone would be like, well, then why'd you run a marathon? Same sense. If you're doing something and someone does, if you're singing, or you're a singer and you put out like an album and someone like just destroys it and just like goes off about it, well, then why are you listening to it? At the end of the day, you still got their stream. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you still got the stream. So who cares? Do it, boo. Believe in yourself, because you can do it. And I believe in you, and so you should believe in yourself. And that's it. If I believe in you, it's done. Boom. Believe in yourself. But you should believe in yourself, because like, you should. You have everything that you possibly could and need and want at your fingertips. You just have to understand that they are at your fingertips. How can you harness what's at your fingertips? How can you harness what you are? How can you harness what's inside of you? You know? You should have faith in your dreams, because you are this magician. You will have this Nine of Cups. You should have this hope, because why are you so focused on the center of this Ten of Swords? I don't know where that cut me off because my camera died, but what I was saying is, I can't swear, but we're gonna do it once. Maybe I'll bleep it out, whatever. Hot, that's genderless, by the way. Everyone is that. Believe in themselves. And you're hot, so believe in yourself. And that's the end. It was actually very much so near the end of the reading anyway, so I'm kind of happy with that cutoff from Spirit. They're like, you're ranting too much. And I'm like, hey, whatever, fine. But basically, here's a little TLDR. Believe in yourself, because like, why don't you? Like, you're good, you're hot. Hot girls, hot boys, hot everyone. Hot days, they believe in themselves. And you have so much more than you realize. Like, you are so much smarter than you realize. You're so much like stronger than you realize. You're so much funnier than you realize. You're so much more talented than you realize. And the thing is, people come to you and look for you those things because you do have talent, because you are smart, because you are wise, and you just need to have faith in yourself. Because I have faith in you, so you should have faith in yourself. Okay? Work. But that's it. That's what somebody wants to tell you. That's the reading. Abrupt ending.